If you're craving an apple cinnamon muffin, but not all of those sugars and carbs that comes along with it, then join me as I share with you your next favorite apple cinnamon muffin recipe. Hello everyone, I'm Deborah. Welcome to my channel where I'm showing you healthier versions of the foods that we love. And today, that recipe being an apple cinnamon muffin. We are going to swap out the traditional flour for some almond flour. We are going to use a sweetener instead of sugar. And you guys, we are going to boost the protein content by adding in one of my favorite ingredients these days, and that being some cottage cheese. So without further ado, let me show you just how easy it is to make a homemade apple cinnamon muffin that is a lot healthier for you. Okay, everyone, I have separated this recipe into three components. We've got our crumble topping, we've got our apples, and then we've got the cake portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all of this off, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut these apples in preparation for cooking them just for a few minutes on the stove. And so here I have my apple, and I don't have a core, so what we're going to do is we are going to be our own core. So let me just cut it in half. Cut it in half again until we have quarters. All right. And I'm just simply going to take my knife and cut around the center port. Trying to preserve as much of the apple as possible. And here we go. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other pieces. Okay, now that this is done, we're simply just going to cut them into the sizes that we want. And I'm thinking about 1/4 of an inch size cubes. Just like that. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the rest of these pieces. And then once this is done, I'm going to take these apples along with the rest of my ingredients over the stove, and we are going to cook these apples for approximately 5 minutes. I'll see you there. To my non-stick skillet, we are going to add some butter, and add in our apples, add our sweetener, and our cinnamon. Give this a mix. Okay guys, and I'm going to turn down the flame to low and let these continue to cook for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, meet me over at the counter and I'm going to show you how to put the crumble topping together. Okay, for our crumble topping, we are going to start with some almond flour into it, brown sweetener, some cinnamon, and some melted butter. And give this a mix. And once all of these ingredients are combined, we are going to have a crumble. And guys, I am using a sweetener of choice. Okay, that's the time for the apples. I'll go over and take care of that. I'll be right back. Here are our apples. I'm gonna set these aside so they can start to cool. What I was saying about the sweetener. So you of course use a sweetener, okay, to your liking. I'm using an allulose, so I'll also leave it in the link as far as where I purchased it on Amazon. But of course you can use honey, you can use maple syrup, or another sweetener of choice. But I wanted to keep these as low carb as possible in my recipe. And one thing I will tell you guys that I love about using almond flour in my recipes is that this crumble, I can taste it. If it was a flour, yeah, I don't think that would taste so good, but I could go ahead and give this a taste because it is made from nuts. And just taste it and just make sure that it's sweet enough and have enough cinnamon in it. Really good. So let's set this aside. So at this point, we have our crumble topping, we have our apples, and the last thing that we need to put together after I clear everything out is our batter. Okay, now for this batter. To our mixing bowl, we are going to add 1 room temp egg, some brown sweetener, vanilla extract, and now we're going to boost our protein content by adding in some smooth and creamy cottage cheese. So guys, just in case you don't know, you take your cottage cheese, You put it into a blender. I've got a NutriBullet. Blend it until it's nice and smooth and creamy, and all the curds have disappeared. And these are our wet ingredients. So now we are going to start layering in our dry ingredients. Almond flour, baking soda and baking powder, and a pinch of salt. And blend. So at this point, I am going to switch over to a spoon so that way I can go ahead and fold in those apples. All right, I have a spoon. I've got my apples that are cool. Add these. I'm gonna start off with the better part of 3/4 of this. I may not use or need the entire apple. Let's just go ahead and fold them in. Guys, when I tell you my kitchen smells like a holiday wonderland, this smells so good. Doesn't look like I need all of those apples. Okay, this is ready. So now at this point, let's bring over our muffin tins that have been sprayed with some non-stick cooking spray. Make sure you do this, guys, because otherwise you are going to lose some of your muffin to this paper, and we're not going to do that. Not today, at least. Okay, let's go ahead and put some of this batter into each one of these tins. So now that I have all the batter in these muffin tins and it's spread out evenly, now it's time to top them with some of this crumble. Cover the entire top. And I'm going to put some on each one of these until it's gone. Okay, everyone, the topping is up here. I've pressed it gently down just so it can stick to these muffins, and off to our preheated 400-degree oven. These are going to go for about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to turn the oven down to 350, and I will continue to bake these until they are done. All right, guys, hot out of the oven. Now the hardest part of putting these together is waiting for them to cool so that we can dig in. Now that I've shown you that you can bake your cake and eat it too by simply swapping out some of the ingredients for some healthier ones, then keep watching to learn how to transform your diet, whether it's sweet treats or main dishes, into enjoyable, lower sugar, lower carb, more nutrient-rich recipes that even the newest of cooks can master with ease. So if you want to eat your favorite foods but want to stay healthy, click here for my guilt-free versions of the dishes you love, packed with flavor but not the unhealthy stuff. Thank you all so very much for being here. And if you enjoyed this recipe, please do give it a like. And also, if you are enjoying the content that I am bringing you on this channel, which are healthy versions of the foods that we love, please do consider subscribing to my channel and also sharing my channel with those that you feel would benefit from what we are doing here. And that is making this chapter of our lives the best chapter of our lives through the foods that we eat and also working out. You guys, it is a great day, and you continue to make it your own kind of special. And I will see you all real soon right here. And once again, thanks for joining me.